Hello and welcome back. It's turn 12, casting Dominion's game with Rotten Clowny.
Hello?
Let's check out our first message. Messenger has arrived from Rignon, being played by Kodo. Established a nap with borders with Calum, Forma de Scruffy, a few turns ago, and last turn established what is probably not favorable borders with Pythium, but got what I could. Pythium's pretty weak. I feel like he could definitely get favorable borders there, especially with his Bless.
He might not know that Pythium is weak.
I guess so. Expecting Bless to be online within 1 to 2 turns so that I can power expand a few provs to the north and the caves on 137. Following that, I will begin first war on whoever seems most appropriate. Expecting Bless... Okay, yeah. Calum might be willing to 2-man Pythium, which I may have a decent matchup against as my units aren't likely to lose the Gladiators.
I'm not so sure about that one.
Yeah, which Pythium isn't recruiting, but yeah, Gladiators deal 22 piercing damage and have nets against Cal.
Yeah, like, he's thinking about his Unbearable Splendor, right? That's
Right.
his plus?
I believe
Which
so.
reduces their attack by 9, yes, but your defense when you have a net on you is 0, so...
And, I think the Gladiators have relatively low MR, don't they? So they're actually
I think they have like 11 actually.
Alright, we'll
Maybe
check
just
that out.
normal 10.
Also, I want to kill any / all of the other astral nations as soon as possible. Additionally, I was cut off from my original target Nida as expected. Killing astral nations is a good idea, especially as an I guess it's a good idea no matter what, but let's see. 2-manning Pythium with Calum sounds like a good idea to me. I will say, for how weak he is, I don't know. It's a tough situation. When you're weak, you do want a war so you can get bigger quick, but also you're weak. So, and he's also playing Marignon, and Marignon wants fourths for more sacreds, but his sacreds are also expensive, so he might not have the money to truly get a huge amount of sacreds.
Yeah, he has put himself in a lot of problems by not just expanding with his sacreds in the first place.
Right, his knight specifically, since he was using the flagellants a bit.
He was indeed using the flagellants. One of several players to use 0 protection chaff to expand in this game.
Yep. Other one I can think of is the wet ones.
Yeah, there's also East was using the Marrow Militia.
Alright, so this is a message from Naba. Well, first of all, I want to see what... Before you forget, he's talking about expand a few provs north and the caves on 137. Alright, so he still has some indies to the north here, and he's talking about taking these caves. I remember Swan, who's playing Uruk, was actually kind of complaining about Kodo's expansion, which is interesting because it's very shit at this moment. So I'm assuming when the
also like hypocritical considering that Swan like power expanded towards him.
Right. I'm guessing that Marignon actually gets like a lot of these provs and maybe because they have the easier underground prov entrance here, while Swan has the cavemen.
Yeah, cavemen are not simple to deal with.
Right. Especially
it's
when
going to be pretty heavy attrition.
You have scales units without dark vision.
He does have nature mages who can paint a little dark vision, but yeah,
right.
It's going to hurt. Whereas the Bakimono are free. I think we discussed this in the last episode.
And I think it's turn 12, so God should be awakening. Well, some might. So if he gets his Splendor Bless, he can go underground fairly easily, since, you know...
Yeah, like, once that comes online, I think all of these guys have pretty shit magic resistance. Yep. Maybe dogs have above average, but I think everyone else is below average down there.
Check out these Gladiators real quick. So they have human MR, just 10.
Yeah, I thought they had 11
which
for
is
some reason.
not awful. Below average, but that's humans.
Oh, did you know that the 5th experience star gives you 1 MR? New Dominion 6.
I didn't know that actually, but I feel like I should have, and I did see that. I just haven't remembered Because I've had 5 experience stars multiple times. Alright. A messenger has arrived from Nabah, being played by Kala. Ah ha 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 ha! Get fucked, Megapone! I've killed most of his invading forces that are hell-blessed. So now that he's not much of a threat, I'm going to look at attacking chickens soon and building up my forts. Fuck Astral Nation. Okay, so...
Fuck Astral Nation. Astral Nation.
Nabah doesn't have Astral, does it? Or wait, it has...
Excuse me? Nabah is like centrally an Astral Nation.
I think, yeah, it...
This is a communion nation through and through. It's the Mukarib that you want to look at.
Right, these guys.
Like, yeah, they're expensive, so
they're sacred.
They don't... Like, they don't fare well in magic duels, because they're expensive, but Nabah is a communion nation. Through and through.
There's definitely cheaper, like Pythium and Uruk. Uruk has size 4s that are 100 gold. But I don't think they're sacred.
They are.
They are? Oh god.
I think they're... aren't they 90 gold or something ridiculous? Is it Naditu that you want to look at? Oh, they're
100 gold. That is insane. Size 4. That must be the best S1 in the game. What the hell?
I think that would be... Like, if you care about cost efficiency and not health so much, then the Yogi is the best S1 in the game. We don't have Monkey Nation in this game, so you can't look at it, but I think they cost like 65 gold.
We have so many Astral Nations, more than I even thought initially.
Yeah, like, good luck to Marignan trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Let me check how much a Yogi costs.
Oh, right, the Bandar log.
Yeah, a Yogi costs 80 gold.
They're size 2, right?
They're size 3, and they have 9 health, and they're not priests, but they are sacred. So I guess the Naditu is actually better, since they're just 20 gold more and you get a priest.
Yeah, you get H2, so very good for smite.
Naditu is 8-1. You're confusing it with the Makarib.
Right. I was thinking Makarib. Alright, so according to Nabah, he's fucking Megapone, which kind of seemed like what was going on. Another Nabah. Naps. Calum, misspelled. Pangea, also misspelled. And Agartha, spelled correctly. So my neighbors are good. So Naba establishing Naps. They also mention attacking Chicken, who is playing Pythium, which Kodo also mentioned teaming up with Calum to attack.
It's looking like Pythium is not long for this world.
Right. They're probably... Well, them and Uruk, since they both have Grand Communions and cheap S1s, are probably the two best scaling nations in the game. And Pythium expanded very poorly, so they have a huge target on their back now.
Especially since they haven't hired any gladiators.
Right, they don't have that stacks of gladiators.
Because when you see those 200 gladiators just sitting around in Pythium, you think twice about targeting them early.
Like, this is not free territory. Also helps if there's like a awake Drakon around, but he went imprisoned Scales. A messenger has arrived from Uruk, who's being played by Swan. 2 successful attacks, 1 failed. Not sure why my failed one failed so badly. I think we saw that. That was the Enkidu Warriors.
I think it was that they were Enkidu Warriors and not Iron Warriors, and those guys don't have hats and they were being shot at. I think that was our diagnosis.
I was surprised it lost too, but yeah, I guess I was expecting Iron Warriors and Enkidu.
Enkidu Warriors are kind of bad. Like, you do want to recruit them to help your expansion, but they are kind of bad, and you will be disappointed every time you rely on them.
Right. Well, he thinks it's bad luck. I think it's just you have to have more troops if you're going to use
at least Iron Warriors at the front if you're using regular warriors.
I have reached out diplomatically to all neighbors, and they all claim to be happy to be friendly. Okay. What about Naps?
If true, that's a mistake on everyone's part. You do not want Uruk to scale.
In particular, I think I have strong diplomatic ties to Pangea and Pythium, who isn't even my neighbor. Pythium is probably going to be a dead neighbor. it's not looking good. Pangea, I mean, you always want Pan on your side, regardless of how they expanded, because you don't want to deal with elves.
Actually, it's very... Oh no, actually for Uruk it isn't. I was going to say that it's quite easy to ally a Pangaea as an astral nation by just selling them some S1s, but Uruk actually can't do that because its S1s are female.
Oh, that's... I'll think about that in the future, actually.
I do this every time I play Pangaea. I'm like, hey bro, sell me some astral and we cool.
That sounds good. If your neighbor me,
it's
hit me
very
up.
good. You just start casting Arcane Probing as a nation that doesn't really get access to it. So you have astral income very early.
I didn't, yeah. They can seduce very early, so you don't have to get like top 5.
Extremely early. You can also do it with death, I think. Pangaea gets no death.
Right.
So those are the main paths that it's good to get seduction for. But like you can buy mages in general as Pangaea. It's fairly. I think most Pangaea players don't think about it, but I always do this as Pangaea.
Right.
I buy my way into new paths.
A fantastic use of seduction, which you have very early access to. And people are willing to give up cheap mages if that's what. And S1s are definitely worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I remember a game where this was an EA game, and I had Marvernia as my neighbor. That's the same game where I elfed someone that I didn't border. Right. And there I just bought 4 Sequani Stargazers, and those cost 65 gold, so to him they weren't worth very much, and he severely undervalued how much I gained from getting Astral. So I got them really cheap.
Yeah, so, I mean, for me that's absolutely like a price worth avoiding getting elfed.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, being on good terms with Pangaea is valuable to you, and if you have male mages who Pangaea wants, then you have a bargaining chip.
Yep, you can build ties there. Of course,
but
it
Uruk's
depends on
male
the player.
mages, unfortunately, not very many of them, and
I still
they probably don't want to sell their cap only.
The most reliable way to get rid of an elf is just to kill them, but you don't want to kill them by yourself.
Yeah.
Alright. I do not trust Hive. Yeah, Swan, never trust Hive.
I think nobody trusts Hive, you, or me in any game.
Jarkill trusts you.
Fair.
I do not trust Hive, Megapone, or Kodo. I think these are all fair. If you're not going to trust someone, these are fair options. Hive,
yeah, completely fair assessment.
Hive will give you grief. He doesn't like being mistrusted, and so will Kodo, but Megapone is aware of his nature. I do not trust Hive, Megapone, or Kodo, but I'm hoping they all have better things to do than to attack semi-giant berserkers this early. I'm also hoping that Megapone respects my Wrath of God rush as based. There's a decent chance.
He's not wrong.
Really hedging our bets here. I think if I could keep it from striking Weredrake with a nap, then he'll be chill. I don't know how you control Wrath of God like that.
You don't, I believe. I think he's confusing it with Galegate. Galegate strikes provinces with storms that increase unrest and kill population.
I think it also doesn't... It prioritizes people you do not have an official nap with as well, I believe.
The way it works is that the province it selects is random, but based on the air skill of the mage casting it, at the relevant turn, so you can add boosters to make this less of a problem, they have a chance to be redirected if they target your territory or friendly territory, and the way it defines friendly territory is you, Disciple, or someone you have an app with.
Right. So you do have
Wrath of God does not work that way, I think. I think that will just hit everyone who isn't you, or your Disciple.
I give 8...
Because it definitely but never hits you, which Galegate does.
Right. I remember Hive giving me a lot of grief because my Galegate was ruining his blood hunting.
The funniest thing you can do with Galegate is to nap everyone except one person. Jesus. And make your caster like really high air, so you just like Urmor level pop kill one guy.
I give 80% odds that Hive uses it as an opportunity to organize a coalition against me. Oh, Wrath of God. Yeah, that's That's totally possible.
That's
Hive is
something
a
Ind would be
coalition.
interested in doing.
What's up?
That is something Ind would be interested in doing because they would keep
Yeah.
losing mages to that.
Right now, it seems like Ind is a big free agent. They haven't mentioned any wars, they're not in any wars, and they've expanded. Okay. I'm hoping Kodo is weakened enough from his repeated failed expands that he is not a meaningful enemy. Also, it kind of looks like Dots is to my west, since I haven't seen anyone directly west except a large cave.
Swan making some good inferences here and having apparently decent scouting.
I don't think he's right, though. Agartha is not to his west.
Oh, really? I misremembered then.
Yeah,
Isn't
Agartha...
Agartha, like, northwest of him?
What's that?
I thought Agartha was, like, below, right?
No, I don't...
West of him.
Agartha is to...
Yeah, you're right. It's
right
completely
over
elsewhere.
here. Yeah, like, Gartha's nowhere near him.
So that's land that is just empty for, like, no reason?
I guess so. I mean, there's...
Is there an odd number of players in the game?
There's barbs and there's knights. I think it's 10. Let me double check that.
I guess having an even number but one living in a cave makes the distribution uneven. Because that is a weirdly large empty space.
It is 10. I think it could be Agartha, but it's also that...
So there's 5 empty provinces between Uruk and Nid.
Yeah, that is... 3... Huh, that is the widest... Yeah, all the rest of these...
There's just 3 between Marignan and Pythium, so like that is a weirdly large expanse of unclaimed land, which kind of biases the game in favor of everyone who borders that region.
Let's see, 3 here. And there's 4 between Calum and Ind.
So Ind, Calum, Nid, and Uruk get a kind of unfair advantage here. Ind doesn't end up getting any of that unfair advantage because Uruk cuts them off, but from map gen I would say that those 4 got an advantage.
That is an interesting difference, because if you look at Pythium, they're 3 from every neighbor in every direction. But Uruk and Nid here... That I see why he thinks Agartha might be here.
Yeah, I would also assume that.
This is just a bunch of free land. That is odd. Also, the game was generated with 10 players, and Omniscience was added after the fact, so it didn't affect map gen.
Yeah.
Or rather, it shouldn't. Let's see. So that's Uruk. Messenger from Yis, who he sent to everyone. Who will help me kill Nabab? Please share info. He's effectively asking for help here. And he's been doing that for a while.
Let's see if they name their prophets. Nope. And nope. Sad.
Let's see. Let's check out Nabab Yis War first.
Seems like a reasonable place to start.
Silver Fang. Okay, so this is his god. I believe this is Indies. Yeah, just expanding. Air shield, mirror image, personal misform. Does this god
You don't really
have
need to watch the fight. Like, he is even wearing armor now.
Oh yeah,
There's
he's
no way
wearing
he
armor
loses.
now. Yeah, that's very good. Absolute slaughter. Lots of indies left here. Oh, you know what? Is he gonna move east and just cut off chicken? Potentially? Just kill a bunch of his stuff. Let's see. Very hostile, but I don't think Chicken's in a position to do anything about it if he does that. So these are some sacreds. The Jinn, Janguard, and then a bunch of camel riders, which he's been mass recruiting.
It counts just PD by the looks of it.
Is it? Oh yeah, okay, this is just a yes prov.
So we don't really need to watch through that either. Just foregone conclusions are not very interesting.
PD. I'm not sure if he was expecting to hold that. And just PD here as well. And then Yis attacked here. Which, this wasn't well defended despite a fort going up here. Right, these thugs would be a lot more dangerous if you went magic scales and had research.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dying to PD.
Very underwhelming performance from those thugs.
Yeah, only 16 prot, so heavy infantry can hit them. If they get surrounded and penalty down, since they're just defense tanks. So yeah, it does look like Megapone's getting crushed here.
Yeah, at this point he has lost far too many of his cap-only thugs to come back, I think.
Yep, he's expanding. Well, he took his cap circle finally. Alright, so Yis had those 4 battles. It was mostly them reclaiming territory. They lost, getting attacked. So they reclaimed these 2 provs, got attacked here. Which again, they're not defending this despite a fort going up here.
And apparently they don't need to.
Yeah. And then they expand with their god. Let's see. And they're also expanding down here still with camel riders.
Naba also found some sites in the province to the right of their capital. So let's look at those.
Quite a number of sites. Just
nothing
like
particularly
glamour.
interesting.
All glamour.
Yeah, just
lots of
just
glamour.
glam income.
That is quite a lot of glamour.
That is 4 glam income.
That is almost a cap's worth of glamour. That'll be nice. Let's see if any forts are going up for Naba, or if they're just spam. Oh, they have the 1 fort here.
Seems not. Maybe they want to build a fort on that other farmland province as well.
This one is not. It's only a 10k pro.
Oh yeah, that's actually kind of. I guess it's a small province.
Yeah, the fort I think you'd want is this forest, but there's already one going up in the farmland.
I don't think Naba uses that many resources, so that's not that big of a concern.
God, there's 4 death on this prov. There has to be a death site here.
Yeah, actually, that makes it less attractive for a fort as well, because it might be a well of pestilence or something on it.
It's still a cave entrance though, and 20k pop. A lot of the caves are still undecided. Alright, so Naba not building too much infrastructure. They're winning their war, but they didn't want to be in that war in the first place. And they're recruiting camel riders in mass, which it seems like they're intending to attack Pythium while warring Yis.
Which they can get away with, because it seems pretty easy to deal with for them.
Yeah. Which they shouldn't be, but pretty much Megapone misplayed. In terms of his build. 3 Dominion. And Drains, so he can't really buff his thugs that much. Alright, so the rest is expansion. We'll check out Calum, who's the other leader besides Naba. I think they're coming out quite ahead.
Yeah, Naba had to deal with the fish invasion. Could be scary with all the elephants, but I guess that'll be
These elephants
Or? That was pretty close.
I mean, it's still... Most of Calum routed here.
Yeah, that... Like, one more elephant and Calum would have lost us.
I'm honestly... Why did the archers route? Like, surely...
I think they don't HP route if the enemy's already routed.
That would make sense. But I was thinking, like, you know, 75% of the HP of their army is certainly off the battlefield, so they should be routing, but...
Yeah, it's just the independents routed first.
Right. So yeah, expansion. They're setting borders with Nid here. Which actually doesn't seem like too awful of a border.
There's some sites in the province to the right of Nid. Can we look at those as well? Because it's always interesting to see if any are game-defining, but these are not.
Garden of Pearl is very nice, 2 astral, especially this early on.
Yeah, it's good, but it's no new recruits. Oh, there's
Right.
on that coastal province south of Nid. There's also
Yep, death,
Endless
nature,
Forest.
and
What does that do?
What's up?
What does Endless Forest do? So all of these are
Astral.
the same thing as well.
So he's getting a lot of astral. I think that's actually a big deal for him because he's planning on summoning Ether Warriors to kill Yis, which I think he will be able to kill Yis at this rate.
I mean, killing is a big ask because they're underwater, but foreclosing their victory is a simple matter now.
Ooh, Calum going into Gartha's cave. Gartha is so weak, I'm not even sure they can reliably do anything about this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If they had some shard guards over here to bump with a Dracolich, maybe they can have a good start to a war. Which I understand Calum did end Nap with Agartha. But maybe it was just a threat. Gran does that. Yeah, just a bunch of wet ones. Dracolich takes that. I don't think the Dracolich will have any issues except maybe with the cavemen here.
Probably not them either. They should be easy to route, right?
Depends on their morale, I think. But the cavemen do 26 damage, and it's blunt, so there's no resistance here. Does have a lot of HP. I think cavemen have pretty low morale, so the breath might be able to just route them like immediately. Okay, so we have 2 successful expansions. One, they lost a lot of troops. Well, most of them routed. The other one, Dracolich, and then let's see. So there's 3. Okay, let's check out what this one was. Ooh, 1 unit survived this one, it looks like. Oh no, this is the one they failed expanding into, but killed all the commanders.
So just take it with a scout.
Right. Calum is expanding well, very well. They still have room to go.
Yeah, when you give a good expander an expander god, it tends to go pretty well.
They also have lizard shamans here, so they'll have access to cheap astral, which I think Calum does not normally get.
They get expensive astral.
Right, very expensive. So this will help defend against magic duel if they get a
Not
bunch
enough.
of lizard
Realistically, you can't really defend. If you have one province that you recruit S1s from, you still can't really defend against magic duels from astral nations.
Okay. Well, if they get these Amazons, they might be able to get Crystal Sorcerers too. But this is...
if they have 2, they might make it, like, less of an automatic win against them.
Uruk and Nid potentially bumping. Let's see what else Calum has. Building temples, and I believe that they're the one building the most forts in the game currently. 2 forts going here, 3 forts.
So they're gonna have very good research very soon.
Yep. Do we see a 4th fort? Yep, a 4th fort over here. So Calum infrastructure is leading by a large margin currently. 1 completed fort and 3 under construction. They are using that money. Nid is still getting mercs.
Very mid ones.
Yeah, archers. I don't think Nid. It depends who they use them with. I think they have units with shields, the Wolf Clan Reavers, but using them with these the Nids who don't have shields and like don't even have helmets, the Sacreds would be dangerous. Rather, not necessarily dangerous, but literally might work against you.
Yeah, like archers do very little damage in general, and when half of it is down to you, then they're not really giving you anything.
Alright, so 3 successful expansions. Let's check out what Agartha is doing down there. I think they only expanded once. So Agartha's expansion has been fairly poor, and which we mostly attribute to them just putting a bunch of wet ones in their armies that are routing their troops, making them have
Which we might see happen again here.
Yeah. They generally have to overcommit because they're trying to like raise their HP pool above the amount of wet ones they have. So yeah, this one they had enough shard guards that all the wet ones dying didn't rout shard guards immediately.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't add more wet ones to the army, because it's a better army this way.
Yep, the Trog's improving the army. Let us go. Where's Agartha? Did lose 2 shard guards. It looks like a lot, but really all you need here is the shard guards. Has God revived, of course. He might be the smallest. Nope, that is insane. There are a lot of small players here.
Expansion in general has been pretty weak in this game.
Pen, Marignon, Agartha, Pythium. Alright, that's all from Agartha. I believe we already saw Yis as well. They had an attack and they expanded once here.
Yep.
Let's check out Ind. They have 3 expansions. I think we were talking about this one. We were hoping that there was body ethereal on the elephants. That doesn't look like the case though. Looks like he's just gonna body ethereal sacreds.
Yeah, ethereal does reduce trample damage, so maybe he cares about that, but I feel like barbarians are gonna tear his elephants apart. I mean, they're tearing each other. Yeah, that's half his elephant gone, I think. And the ones that rout don't come back. So that's that merc company just gone.
Yeah.
And if the elephants had been ethereal, I think they would have just cleaned up the barbarians.
Half the elephant's dead. Yeah, I think body ethereal the elephants would have likely been better, but this is not like a terrible outcome either.
He did buy like a fairly expensive merc group, and lost it in one expansion. Or did he use it before? Maybe he used it before.
I think he did.
If this was the last turn of that merc group, then it makes sense to just let them die. Apparently they're still on his roster with just a commander.
Yeah, they are. Comes with no extra units.
So I guess it was the second to last turn, but he couldn't have gone anywhere from here anyway, so, I mean, fair enough.
Right. One thing I was wondering is if the barbarians would have just killed the elephants, and like the huge health pool of the elephants would have just routed the entire army. But he got away with it. Let's see, Uruk coming over here. So another expansion over here.
Slow grind for the in troops here.
Yeah, he got that. It looked a bit dicey just because the arrows hitting the commanders. But it worked out. Lost one sacred. Oh no, 3 sacreds. The Baculites don't have, they just have crowns. Prone to attrition on indies. Let's see. Barb's here. Hive might go for this. He has a bunch of mages. So he could body through a ton of, like, how many does he have left here? Not much, like 12, 15.
Yeah,
sacreds.
12 mages, or 12 units.
Yeah, even with body ethereal, they might lose to like 100 barbs.
I think they would.
Yeah. So no rush there. I think he's probably going to go for these militia and then combine all these sacreds, go for this militia, and then head towards the barbs later. And then third expansion over here. The Minotaur here.
I guess it's on the site.
Who's... Is this... Oh, they're summoning size 7 water elementals too.
In the snow, which is interesting. I feel like those should be ice.
What can you get from here? Missile protection and not much. That was an unusual prob.
Yeah.
But took it without too much attrition. Bled 3 sacreds and 2 mercs. That expansion party can probably keep going. It doesn't have mages, but there's another one over here. This is heavy cav though. Alright, Hive making a fort right here. Plains and river. This fort
That's a coin flip between Picanyi, which is useless, and Orion, which is mid.
Right.
Oh no, Femini could also be playing, so I think it's Picanyi or Femini. Femini will be good.
You get Lady Knights from Femini?
Yes, but they're not as good as LA Feminis.
Right.
Let me check the stats real quick.
So 3 successful expansions from Inn, and it looks like they're
Yep.
poised to take more indies.
Inn's Lady Knights have only 14 protection. Their horses have 20, but the knights themselves have 14.
Right. They have shields?
Of course.
Okay, shields, high defense.
Yeah, they're not terrible units. They are kind of expensive, but...
Brigands are attacking God. Aragon.
Indeed.
Alright. Let us see what Marignon and Pythium are doing. Let's start with Pythium. It looks like
Box formation expansion, I'm guessing.
Yep, box formation down the line. Yep. I don't think I've ever seen Pythium do box formation.
They do have absolutely no reason to.
They mopped up the cave trolls pretty well, actually.
Yeah, Emerald Guard are very good. And even, I don't know if these are Velitas or Hastati, but Hastati are very good as well. I think these are Velitas though. No, they're Legionnaires, okay.
Huh. I guess the defense kept them alive?
So they hit for 30. How much is the tower shield? And played, yeah, like, if they block, they'd just negate all of that.
Right.
It's a big shield.
Yeah. So these guys would have had like 11 attack skill. Because it has experience. Well, 10. And these guys have 6. Okay, that's a lot of defense, so yeah, I guess. And they don't have much prod.
And terrible attack density from the trolls.
Yep. All taking 3 attacks from the Emerald Guard. Wow, that was quite convincing.
Emerald Guard are very good. There is a reason they cost twice as much as a normal human soldier.
Yeah, I might have actually underestimated them, even though I already thought they were very good. They're better than I thought they were.
They are some of the best human soldiers in the game.
Let's see. Next is Marignon, which is expanding twice. Oh yeah. I was wondering... Pythium should absolutely... I'm not sure if they have a scout here. Also, is this god glamored?
Of course, he's unseen.
So he'd have to have a scout here to see that the god is here.
Yeah.
Attack this prov. But if he attacks this prov, he could potentially die to this god.
Yeah, that god will just mop the floor with even Emerald Guard.
Yeah, there's Zots right here, which are, even with like the cave penalty, you'll be able to kill the Zots, I think.
If you leave behind the low prot units, you kill them with no casualties.
Right. So, I definitely would not go north here. Kaloth is, or at least Diplo Kaloth, talk to him, see if you can go here without bumping his god.
That's what I would do, at least.
We also see Pythium is recruiting Serpent Cataphracts.
Which you should never do.
These are... So the main problem is they have 5 magic resistance, but they also have... Oh, they have a light lance, so they do have a lance. I thought they had a spear.
It's a weak lance. They're really expensive.
Right.
They're priced as if they are real cavalry, and they just aren't.
Right. So they do have a lance. They do some damage. They have good prot. poisonous bite, 15 with the bite hurts.
But just consider that for the price of one of these guys, you can get 2 Emerald Guard and have 5 money to spare.
Yep. Emerald Guard are definitely like the go-to for this nation. Jarkeel has mentioned Serpent Cataphracts are very good for expanding. I don't think you want these units against players.
Do not.
It's stronger than I thought. I thought it had a damage problem, but that is not its problem. It's really just the MR.
It does have a damage problem. It does only 15 damage.
Yeah, but it is a lance.
Yeah, but the lance aspect is single use.
Right.
And the charge is not powerful enough that they don't need much of a follow-up. They do. And when they do, they have, I guess, 4 attack density, but 15 damage really is not much.
Yeah.
Like, how much do Emerald Guard do? 20?
18. They have an 18 attack. Yeah,
I thought that they would be 20 because they have 12 strength, and 18 is like heavy infantry.
No, they do 18, which is kind of their only mediocre trait. So they can be thugged.
I mean, that's still the highest damage on Pythium's roster.
Right, it's still it's decent damage. They can be thugged at 18, so it is a good idea to have thug killers, or just the normal smite communion. But yeah, he's recruiting a lot of Serpent Cataphracts. I think these are better against Indies than Emerald Guard, but it's not like outstandingly so.
And if you use Emerald Guard for Indies, then you're going to have Emerald Guard at the end of your expansion,
Right,
whereas
exactly.
if you use Cataphracts, you're going to have Cataphracts at the end of your expansion.
Exactly. And the 5 MR is just a huge... It's... You don't want that.
It makes even good cavalry hard to justify, and this is not good cavalry.
Right. If these cavalry actually end up going to mid game and Nid just casts Winds of Death on them, they're gonna die in the droves. Let's see. So we only have 1 expansion from them. Rignon has 2 expansions. Let's check that out. Alright, a lot of knights here and some crossbowmen to give them afflictions. Keep them humble. Ooh. He actually lost some. Let's see.
Presumably friendly fire.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is friendly fire.
Actually, no.
Nope, Horse Tribe got him with a lance. You keep underestimating Horse Tribe. They're capable of killing Knights of the Chalice. Oh wait, so these are the ones... Crossbowmen hit Destroyer. Oh god, they have...
He fell off his mount because the mount routed, I guess?
He was repelled. What? So wait, does repelling cause you to fall off your mount? Or is it just like a chance?
I don't think so. I think his horse was routed at the same time.
Huh.
Like, the reporting is weird in Dominion sometimes.
Oh, this guy was diseased out of his mind.
Yeah, maybe he just fell off the horse from leprosy.
I don't think... Let me check this. So, these ones are dead. And I guess these are just the mounts of these dead guys.
Yeah.
Right, the horse tribe claims some heads there. Light lances, managing to get through the 18-20 prot. Which was 18 damage on a lance. With a good roll, you can do it.
Yeah, you take some damage from them occasionally, but they're so easy to route. I still disrespect horse tribe.
Let's see. Tons of crossbowmen, some knights.
That is so many crossbowmen. I'm scared for these knights.
Yeah, to reiterate, crossbowmen, so they're armor-piercing bolts, but they're also pierce damage. So they actually have 65% pierce. So effectively, against these 11 damage bolts, the mounts effectively have like what, 9 prot, and the riders about 8. So yeah, like with every hit, it's likely to deal 2 to 3 damage. And with a good roll, it can just outright kill a human.
So it means friendly fire will stack up affliction and take return some lives.
Right. You compare that against like the 16 damage on these guys against 18 to 20 prot, which is they're just likely to hit the bounce. So these guys are pretty much never going to do damage, while the crossbows are pretty much guaranteed to do damage if they hit their own troops.
Well, not if you get blocked. The knights have shields. I see a firebolt hit knight here as well.
It looks like
it's gonna be the knight with 4 health, I think.
Oh, this guy.
No, there is a knight that got chunked for 10, I think, and is now on fire. Maybe it was a horse taking 10 damage.
Oh god. I am seeing these... Okay. So there's only one that died here, huh? Witch Hunter hit Knight. I think he does have fire resistance on these knights.
He does.
Fell off his mount. Ooh, heavy infantry got him.
A fat roll.
God, this is just the lance charge. Knight of the Chalice hit militia in head with lance for 26 points. Jesus Christ.
Full lances are pretty good.
This sounds like a freaking massacre.
Embarrassing to die to a spear from light infantry.
Yeah. Alright. 2 of them dead. I do feel like he's bleeding more knights than you usually see.
Yeah, it's because they're taking friendly fire. Like, it's rarely what kills them, but, like, we do see that they are getting hit. We haven't looked at every unit.
Right. Alright, so two provinces taken. This expansion party is at a dead end. How fast these knights move? Really, only... Okay, 14. They're heavy cav. Quite expensive too, 70 gold.
Sacred heavy cav should be expensive, although
Yep.
in Dom 6 they kind of suck because of the 5 MR horses.
3, 6, 9, 12. So yeah, I can't do that. My god. Swan taking this province is like... It wouldn't be surprising if Rignon ward Uruk over any of its other neighbors. because of how Swan has expanded into them.
Yeah.
Let's see. So there are still some indies to take. Alright, let's check out Nid's expansion. So they expanded 3 times. A lot of attrition.
Archers with the hatless, shieldless frontline. Oh, they do have hats actually. They're just not very good ones.
It's javelinist too.
Javelins do more damage than arrows, so that's even worse.
Yep. They're also more accurate though. Let's see. Oh, he didn't attrition. Didn't lose any troops in this actually, which is surprising. It's heavy cav into.
These guys do have, or gals do have, insane attack density.
Yeah. It's not that many heavy cav.
Yeah, it was just 4.
Let's see. So, perfect expansion there. Pegasus Riders and Amazons, they're probably, and then Barbs. And then on top of that, potentially bumping with Iron Warriors.
I think the Iron Warriors win that one.
It depends on the numbers. These can get through Iron Warriors.
Yeah, but aren't there like 100 Uruk troops?
No, it's 40.
Oh, okay. I misread it.
We can see the exact numbers. It's like literally exactly 40. He does have a potential Barkskin / Body Ethereal caster there. I don't think Nid has any mages. So it'd be 50 versus 40. I think it depends on who hits the indies first, since both these indies are fairly strong ones. Weredrake, in these kind of situations, Weredrake, who's playing Nid, is not very likely to reach out and Diplo, so I think it'd be on Swan, depending on whether he thinks it's worth it, and if he knows about Nid having a stack here. We'll see. Nid could just go south. South is the easier prov, but he also has an expansion party down here already. Alright, let's see. Should be close. Yep, no issues there. Did take some attrition, but the party's still strong enough to go into a lot of, probably into these militia. Danger of bumping with the god, but Caliph and Weredrake are actually prone to talking this out. Or even just...
Yeah, I assume they coordinate this.
Yeah, if they're kind of bad at coordination. I played a game as Relay where they're both warring me, and they were bumping each other a lot, which was somewhat hilarious. So yeah, it's possible they bump here, and then they just say, whoops, sorry, my bad, and that's the end of the story. They're okay with it. And we have a third expansion from Nid. Oh, we finally see the Sacreds coming out.
At long last.
And they're with the Archer Company, which they don't have any helmets.
That seems rather poorly thought through. Many scars have been lost.
Oh my god. These guys are so fast. Lost
He
3.
actually lost Nid-Bathed.
Yep, he lost 3, and he probably lost a number of Scar Souls too.
On like all of them.
Lots of friendly fire. My god, my god. So if you don't have a helmet, is your prod against arrows effectively 0?
They don't always hit you in the head, but often they
Right.
do, and then yes, it's 0.
Okay, yeah. My god, that is awful. That is awful.
Don't do this at home, kids.
I'm surprised he didn't lose more of these, but I guess they just have a lot of Scar
It's because of the Scar Souls. I bet that all of them lost Scar Souls.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because they were getting hit by arrows for several turns, like a huge.
Yeah. I
think this army could actually. Yeah, this army could actually split. I think the archers could take out the Ictids.
They're at least mostly.
Yeah, these Ictids don't have shields or helmets.
They have like 3 protection.
Yep. And they also have very slow movement speed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the archers could probably just rout those guys before they got into melee.
I think the archers could take this. Oh, there's not a bridge here, so you have to go here.
Then we're gonna see more friendly fire.
Yeah, the archers would be good against barbarians too.
It is also the unfortunate truth that the archers are good against Nid-Bathed.
Yep. Let's see. So, that's 3 expansions from Nid. Lots of attrition here. Some attrition here, no attrition there. So 3 expansion parties.
And even when there is lots of attrition, if he's not looking at the battle itself, it looks like the attrition was slow.
Right. Because of the Nid. Also, we're gonna see it later. You know what? We'll just see it later. Okay. Yes. We already saw Ind. There's a battle in Pangaea, Independence Attack. Let's see if there's capital was taken.
More random events.
He's not expanding at all. I think there's 2 turns without him expanding.
I will have to BRB for a couple minutes.
Alright. Moonsinger. Is this a mobile? Oh, it has map move, okay. Slaughter. Alright, the Mynids are coming out. Looks like there may be a bump between Pan and Uruk here. No, I don't think we looked at Uruk expansion, actually. I wonder if this event stopped movement. It could have. Alright, let's check out Uruk expansion. Pan in a bad situation, but Uruk still... I think Uruk mentioned that... Yeah, Uruk said ties with Pan were good, but Uruk has heavily overexpanded into Pan. Kind of the same way they did with Marignon. They took one of these Core 9 provinces. It is possible that Neo is a new enough player that he's not taking offense by this, but I think most players would. Pretty decent prov here. If Swan wants to curry favor, he should probably give that up. He also doesn't want a bigger border with Yes than he already has. fact, I'd probably just give up this wasteland to end so I don't have to deal with Yes. Or just have to deal with them through this, like, one prob. Let's check out how Uruk's expansion went. Iron Warriors? Iron Warriors? Yep. Iron Warriors and Body Ethereal. Oh, this is gonna be a slaughter. Lost Air Fire Elemental. "28 Iron Warriors." Yeah, knowing Swan, he sees this and he's going to... Actually, it's possible the White Centaurs are stealthy, I believe. Yeah, it's possible he doesn't see this. I think Swan will...
Sorry about the poor planning.
Yep. So Swan has a stack of 30 Iron Warriors on this wasteland bordering Pan. And he said he had a very good relationship with Pan and he's going to be a key ally. But he is also kind of grossly overexpanded into Pan and took one of his core 9 provinces. Which Neo... Specifically, Neo might not be offended by this. But I think
I think Neo is too nice to assert his rights here.
Right. Most players would be offended by this, though. I think this is a habit Swan has of overexpanding into others and just kind of hoping for the best. Hoping that they can be friends anyways. That might be the case with Neo. I do not think that'll be the case with Rignon or Kodo. I think Kodo will war Swan effectively over this. Like this may not be the reason he cites, but I think this, if you didn't take this, his eyes would not be on you for as long, I think. You know, this creates other reasons.
Yeah, it is always risky to take someone's core 9, or any of the core 9.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens there. There's a lot of potential bumps this turn. I think we didn't check out all of Swan's Uruk's expansions. Also, a lot of untouched water provs Yis might want to sneak into. Let's see, how many times did...
Well, East can't sneak, so that's going to be a problem.
Right. Let's see, 2... Looks like just 2. So this is 30 Iron Warriors and a Body Ethereal caster with very little attrition, but there was attrition. Probably more, maybe a mix of Enkidu and Iron War. Yep.
Iron Warriors are also Enkidu.
No thrones have been taken yet. Yeah, so this is where Swan may be bumping Nid and Pan. I think he's probably reaching out to avoid that if he can. Let's check the graphs. Calum leading by a lot, in coming up behind them. And the boss still leading, but yeah, they're falling behind the other Wake Expander. Oh, income. Yeah, Calum forts are about to go. My god, Calum got the first fort. In sending out site searchers. Nid getting a lot of gems too. Those glam sites.
Nid can site search very widely with their cap onlys.
Yep. Pythium falling behind on site searching. We're at a point where random events can like have a strong impact on gem income as well. Uruk doing the research, they were saying that they're probably gonna have Wrath of God by turn 18. Hope like turn 20 at the worst. So yeah, Nabaa recruiting camel riders en masse at the cost of infrastructure, which, you know, they got word on by Yis, so if they want to expand and defend territory, that makes sense to do. Ind in a very good position, despite being Scales' astral nation.
Well, they're not quite Scales. They do have a moderate bless.
They do have a moderate bless. But
They have Turmoil.
they do have turmoil. I think that's the only bad skill they have.
Yeah. But they don't have growth either, do they?
No, it looks like even Scales, except maybe one heat and luck and magic. All right, I think that wraps it up for turn 12. See you in the next turn.